Well, my days are pretty long. I'm usually gone from my house about 14 hours at a time, so I really have to plan ahead so I don't end up going out to eat, and A, that costs me more money, and you usually can't get a good meal for cheap. So when I wake up, I usually make a 3-egg omelet that usually includes some type of vegetable and meat, or I'll go with just some eggs, bacon, and a piece of fruit. Then I have Greek yogurt, which I don't like to buy the stuff that already has fruit in it because I find it has too much sugar. So I get some fruit, sweeten it with agave nectar, and then I have an apple with quite a sizable serving of peanut butter. Next up is lunch, 2.5 or exactly 3 hours later, where I'll have a large serving of chicken, usually raw vegetables. If not raw, then lightly cooked. Always covered in olive oil, and then sometimes a sweet potato or a piece of fruit. Next up is usually on a training day. It'll be a pre-workout shake, which is usually protein and a banana. Then there's post-workout, which is 16 ounces of chocolate milk. Then next up is dinner, again a couple hours later. And that's usually steak. I always prefer to buy quality steak, grass-fed when I can, and that's again with vegetables. I like green beans, raw broccoli. And then when I get home, I usually try to prepare something so I can have a lunch the next day, and that's usually going to be either more steak or chicken.
When Jeff started training with Fun Intelligent Training, he probably had more mental tenacity than anyone I had ever met. And while he might not be the most naturally gifted athlete, he definitely makes up for it with his heart and his drive. And when I saw how quickly he learned new movements, I knew he was going to be a great coach, and that's why Eric and I kind of pushed him to do that. But Jeff is a perfect example of what you get from an athlete who sticks to the program. You know, Jeff never ever questioned anything that we asked him to do, and anytime he went on his own and did a lot of his own research on training, you know, he came back to us and talked to us about it. And that shows in his results. Jeff is walking proof that you can be a great weightlifter and train heavy and train hard and still maintain your leanness, and that's because of his nutrition. People are afraid of calories. People have this idea that the less calories, the better. And here's this kid who weighs, 70, 80, 90 pounds less than I do, and he's putting down more food than I am, and he's a lean 185 pounds. And like he'll tell you, he doesn't do any cardio. He doesn't go running. He doesn't spend hours on an elliptical or doing crunches.
So people always ask me, like, oh, I want to work more ab stuff so I can, I want to have that nice stomach. And I always tell them that abs are made in the kitchen. I haven't done an ab-specific exercise in about 2 years. Mostly the type of training I do, I use my core in a functional sense where it has to stabilize heavy loads. And then they wonder, oh, you must do a lot of cardio to stay so lean. I don't run. I don't do any long, grueling cardio sessions. I just train smarter.
Let's go, Jeff. Come on.
Let's go. 2 more. 2 more. You're all done.
One more, buddy. Come on.
Let's go. Do it.
I think food preparation at the beginning of the week is one of the most important things I can do to keep myself eating well and staying, healthy. I have a pretty hectic schedule, so when I'm out running around, it's good to know that I always have a meal planned. I know what I'm gonna eat, when I'm gonna eat it. I don't have to worry about where I'm gonna go, if I'm gonna go hours without eating, and if when I eat it's gonna be some crappy food that I paid too much money for. So preparing my meals at the beginning of the week really helps me keep me on track. When I first came to fit, I think I probably weighed about 150 pounds, like soaking wet. And it wasn't like a good weight either. I mean, I had some muscle, but it wasn't quality muscle, and I wasn't very healthy physically. I had a horrible posture, so it looked like I had a distended gut. So I had a pelvic tilt issue, and my shoulders were always slumped forward. Since I've been training and increasing my knowledge about how to train and on an actual training program, I've probably gained about 30 pounds of lean quality muscle. My posture has improved dramatically, and I have gained almost no fat.
He's just walking proof that you shouldn't be afraid of calories, and as long as you make the right food choices, how much you eat doesn't really play as big of a role. Whenever I see Jeff eating, he always has a couple things. He always has a source of protein. I've never seen him eat any meal that didn't have a source of protein. Whether it's a piece of chicken or a piece of steak or fish, or maybe it's a large serving of peanut butter or a protein shake, he's getting protein in every single meal. Almost as consistently as you see him eating a source of protein is he almost always has a vegetable to go along with his meals. He's not real big on supplements. I see him drinking protein shakes, but he's not the kind of guy that's pounding a pre-workout, a post-workout, an intra-workout supplement. He's eating real food, and that shows in his results. He's been able to put on 30, 35 pounds of muscle, and he's still as lean as the day he came in here as a little 150-pound guy. So, I mean, I can sit here and talk about all the science I want and all the experience I have coaching and all that stuff, but people want to see the proof in the pudding, and it's Jeff. I mean, look at the guy. He looks phenomenal, and he's stronger than 90% of the people at his weight, and he just keeps getting stronger every day. So, if you want to train with Jeff, come on in. You can try out for our Danny Boys program or do our boot camps. He's an awesome coach, awesome training partner, and there's really nothing else to say. The kid's put in the hard work, and it shows.